Well, welcome to Find It in Fergus Falls. I'm Lisa Workman with the Fergus Falls Area Chamber of Commerce.
And I'm Mary Philippi, Executive Director for United Way of Otter Tail and Wadena counties.
Well, spring is here, Mary, and with that means that the campaign is wrapped up and you've gone through the panels where you get to visit with all the different great programs in the community, and decisions have been made. And then the next exciting part of that is you get to pay out.
Distribute the funds.
Distribute the funds, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Well, it's not like the money machine blowing around, but it kind of is. I mean, if you're one of the recipients, it's got to feel fantastic.
Yeah, you know, we do have over 40 programs and initiatives that we fund through the United Way campaign, and every quarter we pay out those funds to those programs that go through the community investment process. So it's a vetting process, and I know you sat on the panels, and it's really a great process because then we know that those programs that we're funding have been vetted by local volunteers. They go through their financials, they state their case on how they're going to make a difference in our community, and then they make those funding recommendations. And yesterday we paid out those programs, and we sent out over $117,000 to local programs. And so as part of our community investment process, as part of our Friends of Friends Fighting Hunger investments, and some designated funds directly from donors. So we can't do that without all of our wonderful donors and our volunteers and our advocates for United Way, so we just want to say a big thanks.
And it's a big thank you day. You know, thank you to everyone who makes this possible and making great positive impacts in our community.
Yes, and that was quarterly. We do that quarterly because a lot of our donations that we receive come from larger companies within our two counties that do payroll deductions, which is really wonderful. So as we receive those in, we pay those out.
And I think it's a great way of kind of that synergy between the Chamber of Commerce, which is primarily the business community, and when they're doing well, they help out so many nonprofits through United Way. So when our community is doing well together, it impacts so many people.
It does, really.
And, you know, speaking of impacting people and great businesses, we're going to go on location today.
Fun.
We're going to visit with Tori Hanna. She's the owner of Tangles to Treasures, a boutique yarn weaving really cool store downtown Fergus Falls. I know a lot of people say, oh, if there's nothing new in town. Well, if you haven't been to Tangles to Treasures, great place to go. Maybe you decide to pick up a new hobby or something down there. So stay tuned. We're going to head downtown and go to Tangles to Treasures.
Extinction is forever. To save America's most iconic and imperiled species from extinction, we must fight for their future. Fight to save the natural lands that wildlife call home. Fight to limit pollution. Fight for smart development. Fight for their future. Fight for ours. For so goes nature, so goes us.
Well, we are on location downtown Fergus Falls at Tangles to Treasures, and store owner Tori Hanna has joined me. Tori, you're not only a business owner, but you are a multi-talented artist.
I try.
Yeah.
Yep.
You've got great things here that, one, folks can just purchase already made, like the beautiful scarf that you're wearing.
Yes.
As well as a variety of other things here. But in addition to that, you're a teacher. So you teach people how to do stuff. And so I was thrilled to hear that you wanted to show me how to
teach you how to weave. I'm going to give you a weaving lesson today.
Right. And if I can learn, or at least if I can kind of catch on, anybody can do it. So this is, tell us about the loom that you have.
So one of the things I do here in the store is I'm a Shacked dealer. And Shacked is the name of a company. It's Shacked Spindle Company out of Boulder, Colorado. So everything is made in America. And this is one of their neat looms. It's called a cricket loom. And it comes in a little box like this. And I've got it all put together here. And it's called a rigid heddle loom. It's got a heddle here that has holes and slots. And it's rigid. And so this is one of the simplest looms, but you can do a lot of fun things on it. I've got a real fun yarn on here. It's got a lot of texture.
And so you've got the yarn going
I've already measured out. I have to measure out a lot of yarn. Like this scarf is going to be about 8 feet long.
Okay.
So I've got 9 feet. I've got a little extra on there of yarn that I measured out one at a time on a frame, and then I threaded it through here, and it's all wound up back in this area. And as I weave it, it winds up on here. So
Very
what a
cool.
loom does, this is a basic loom, is holds all of these yarns still so that you can actually weave them and turn them into a scarf
beautiful
or a
scarf.
fabric. Okay, so over here there's some gears, and what you have to do is you have to tighten up your yarns so that they're nice and tight. Okay, otherwise it's real hard to work with.
I would imagine
And-
it'd get a little wonky.
Yeah, but you don't leave them stretched while you're not working. The way this works is the ones that are in the holes get lifted up, the ones that are in the slots stay still.
Okay.
Okay? This is called a shuttle, and it holds the yarn, and when you lift that up, it makes a shed right there, it makes
Sure.
an opening. So what you do is you put the shuttle through, and it goes over half of the threads and under the other half.
Oh, see here I was picturing you'd have to try to work this
Yeah,
thing
well,
up
no,
and down
no,
between.
not at all, not at
the
all.
threads there.
This makes it real simple. I usually just set it here, leave it loose, bring this forward, and it packs it in nice and straight. Okay, and then I push it down. This time the holes go down and the other half is lifted up. Can you see how it's making
Oh,
a
yep.
thing? So now I'm going to come back. It's over on this side, so I have to come back this way. So, simple. Pull it forward.
And the loom really keeps it tight.
The loom
And keeps
it
them
tight.
aligned, too.
So, grab the shuttle,
Okay.
and you just want to make sure you go nice and straight right through.
Right through here.
Perfect.
Okay, no
And then you can
tangles.
just set it down, and,
Set it
and
down.
then you get your hands free to mess around here. You don't want to pull it real tight.
Okay.
Because it's not just going straight across, it's going over and under all these
Oh, sure,
sides.
sure.
Okay. Now with both hands, grab this and lift it up a little bit and pull it forward.
Okay.
Okay. And you
And
have
how
to push
tight?
it very tight, just you're setting it there, and then
Okay.
push it down.
We go down this time, and then it goes under there.
And now you're on that side.
Okay, so we undo a little bit.
Yep, you don't want to have to get caught in there. And push it
Go
through.
through.
Whoops.
And don't get caught on that guy.
Yeah, that's the problem. And then I just leave,
And just
I
leave it
usually
kinda
leave
loose?
it just kind of like that.
Okay.
And,
And
pull
then
it forward.
pull it forward.
hmm
Oh, this is
And then
kind
you
of.
push it up again.
So then you're
So
kind of
just
going
up
back
and down.
and forth,
You're going
back
up
and
and down,
forth,
back and forth.
this way and that way,
hmm And you're making a fabric.
and it looks
And-
so cool already. And so this is
It's a really
It's all
neat
the same.
yarn because it's got some spaces that are not very many of these bumps, and then it's got some spaces where there's lots and lots of lumps. So
sure.
it's going to make a variegated pattern. So that's all there is
And-
to weaving.
And very simple. Of course, like I
Mhm.
said, you got it all set up, but you're
The
here to
setup
help people do
the
that.
setup is a little more. You when you get into the setup, then that takes a couple hours of time to learn how
Sure.
to do that. But this is actually a very easy loom to set up too. It has a peg that you can just measure out the yarns on the peg
Yep.
right here onto the loom, and you're ready to go.
Very relaxing.
It can be. It's very zen.
You know, even just 2 passes
Yep.
with the shuttle. Is that
You can. Yep.
even just doing a couple, and then you start seeing
You start seeing the pattern
progress
come up.
immediately,
Yep.
and it's just
Yep.
it's
a very
just so
zen.
cool.
I call it slow entertainment.
Yeah.
You don't, you're not going to get anything. It's not going to get done instantly.
Right.
But you're going to have hours of fun making something
And watching it grow.
and watching it grow.
Well, and of course here too, as you work on things, the variety of the yarns that you have
There
available.
are so many yarns, and all of these yarns are hand dyed by me, by Patty Locken. She
wow.
lives down in Wendell, and she just loves to do hand dyeing, but she doesn't want to have a store and sell, so I sell it for her.
Sure.
And so we have a lot of different textures and colors in that. I have lots of cottons and mohairs and silks and wools.
Really some fine, good quality yarns and
don't-
fabrics.
I have some baby yarns that have some acrylic in them that are more machine washable.
Sure.
But I prefer working with silk
Natural
myself.
fibers.
And natural fibers, yep. So
This is fantastic, and you've got a variety of different, like you said, you've got
there's
different
lots of different
kits,
equipment.
different ways to get started.
Yep, the loom has, there's actually this wonderful big bag. So when you want to carry it with you, you can just put the whole loom into this bag. And so it's,
It's portable
Portable.
to go to
Yep.
a crafting weekend.
yes, definitely. And I have lots of different looms. I've got ankle looms for weaving bands. I've got these little pin looms for weaving little squares. A little tapestry loom here. I've got card weaving equipment. I also have a big variety of knitting needles.
Ah, because that has really been growing. Is that
Yeah.
that knitting and well, really any of the what I call getting back to the basics and traditional crafting and creations, whether people are sewing or painting or knitting, you've got a variety of the needles. Needles. Don't use noodles.
Right. That doesn't work very well.
No.
Although I have seen some people knitting noodles on YouTube. There's spaghetti, and they say, "Oh, look what Grandma made out of lunch." The Mindful Collection is a new collection of needles and equipment that's out from Knitter's Pride. And this is one of their big kits. It's got a variety of sizes of points. So if you're using thin yarn, use thin points. If you're using thick yarn, use fat points. And then it's got different cords. And so you just add your ends to the cords. And so you can get different sizes and different lengths of needles very easily.
Interesting.
It's got a lot of different equipment. It's got a little gauge thing and knitting markers so you can know where you are
Sure.
in the pattern. They've also got, this is fun, I think, this little wooden needles
Oh, nice.
for sewing in your ends. And they come in nice little containers. So the Mindful Collection is a line that I just started carrying. I also have several books. I've got pattern books for weaving bands on this loom. This is a knitting book. It's actually run by Myrna Stamen, is a local knitter, and she developed all of these shawls. And this is one of the shawls that I'm knitting from her book.
Okay, beautiful.
So it's lace knitting, and I love lace knitting, so I have a good time with that. And multicolored yarns are always fun.
Definitely.
This is sari silk. It's from India. It's hand spun from the leftovers from weaving saris. And this is a pair of fingerless gloves.
Perfect. Love those.
There's 100% silk. These are nice and big, and you can put leather gloves underneath them for driving.
Sure, and they're beautiful, and
Yeah.
really something for everyone here. Whether they're knitting, whether they'd like to try something new, it's never it's never too late to start a new hobby, or to
pick up an old one.
Right, because I think a lot of
brush
people
up on your skills. A lot of times you learned how to crochet as a child, and you
Yep.
wish you could pick it up again. And I can help you with that. I've got hooks. There's a whole variety of crochet hooks here that have the nice cushioned handles, so you don't, wear yourself out by holding on so tight.
all kinds of the supplies that people need, the
Yep.
beautiful yarns, and this is not the same stuff that you're going to find in a department store. This is
No.
some really high quality yarns that are going to make, you put so much time and effort into it,
Yep.
why not make it beautiful, long lasting, and very
Exactly.
earth friendly
You're
too.
going to knit 6 hours for your scarf anyway. You can have an acrylic scarf, or you can have a nice silk scarf.
Right.
And I would just soon have the nice silk scarf. It's going to last forever. They call it an heirloom because you pass it down to your heirs.
Right, and what a great, I think that would be such a, whether you're making a baby blanket or like you said, a scarf or a gift for somebody, just something that folks can get started on and
Yeah.
really has some special memories for it too.
And right now I'm doing private lessons, so like I'll sit you at that end of the table, and I'll sit at this end of the table, so we have some social distance. And,
Yes.
And get you going on whatever project you want to get, or help you with a project that you're working on. So I can
Fantastic.
do that. And come May, I'm going to be completely vaccinated. And so I'm going to
Excellent.
start doing socials again. So we have a social area in the back that I'm going to open up in May, and we're going to start having groups in that we can sit around and work on our crafts together.
Which will be nice too, because it'll give folks purpose to get together.
Yep, and get us out a little
yet
bit.
you've got some space, and with
Yeah, this
more
is a
and more
big,
people
airy
getting
place, and-
vaccinated,
Yep.
that's going to make it even better. If folks would like to get a private lesson or even a private tour, how do they go about doing that?
They can contact me on my website. They can email me, or they can send me a message on Facebook. or they can just call my cell phone or text my cell phone and set it up that way.
Perfect.
Otherwise, I am here Monday through Saturday from right now 10 to 1:30. In April, I'm taking a little bit of time
Sure.
in the afternoons for myself and
Work on the business. It's hard
Yep.
to work on the business when you're in the business.
exactly. And
they can call
they
and set
can
up
call
an
and set an
appointment.
appointment at any time during the week.
Fantastic.
So we can do evenings or we can do weekends or whatever. I'm real flexible
Yeah. Well, it's
as
a
far as that goes.
great stop if folks come downtown for lunch. Stop.
Yep, we're right across
stop
from the
on
Viking
by.
Cafe. We've got all kinds of wonderful things happening downtown right now. I've got a lot of people that will drive downtown and park. There's lots of parking, the city parking lots in the area.
Right.
And then just spend a couple hours walking up and down and visiting all the shops that are open now.
We've got a lot of them downtown, so we invite you to come
Mm-hmm.
on downtown. Again, Tangles to Treasures, right across from the Viking. I love seeing all the local art and local creations
Yeah.
that you also sell here.
And local is part of what we're doing. It's all community.
Absolutely.
One of the things I'm doing for myself this month is I'm volunteering at the Otter Tail Humane Society.
Perfect.
Brain went out there. So I'm going out and as one of their volunteers. I'm walking dogs for an hour a day, several days a week, and they're going to have an auction coming up on their Facebook page, April 29th through May 3rd. That if you want to support the Humane Society, you can go on there and you can bring in something to donate for the auction before the 27th, or you can
Bid on things.
And find wonderful things there and help support the wonderful work they do.
Well, we talked earlier on the show about businesses working together, and we know when businesses and our nonprofits get together, great things happen. So
Yeah.
thank you for being a dedicated local business owner in Fergus Falls, and for supporting so many other nonprofits through your volunteerism. It's greatly appreciated, and it's what makes things happen in Fergus
Right.
Falls. So we invite folks to come on downtown to Tangles to Treasures, stop by, see what it's like, or get in touch with Tori if you'd like a set, or just drop in when they're open, and I guarantee you'll find some new projects.
LED sign in the window now that kind of when I'm open it's on, and I know that we're going to have a lot of stuff happening downtown this summer.
Yes.
There's going to be concerts up at the RTC, and I think the downtown businesses are getting together, and we're planning on being open on Thursday nights.
Sounds like late till 8 on
Late till
Thursdays.
8 on Thursdays is going to
Yeah.
be fun. So again, it's a good night to come out and see downtown. You can go to the Cadets Gallery. I've had a lot of my artwork shown there, and
lot going on downtown.
and so
We're
it's
stopping in
it's
for
gonna be
it.
exciting. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, Tori, on this
Thank you.
great store, and thank you for your dedication again to everything local. We so appreciate it.
Yep. I love Fergus Falls. So
I do too. Well,
good
we will
place
be
to be.
back after a little bit.
Thank you.
First, they said cigarettes were safe. We know how that turned out. Now, they say they didn't market e-cigarettes to teens. Fact, more than 1 in 4 high school students are vaping, and 80% say their first e-cigarette was flavored. Vaping is harmful to developing brains. The reason we think vaping is safe? Marketing. Same lies, different day. Tell Big Vape to quit lying.
Well, welcome back to Find It in Fergus Falls. I'm here with our host, and the reason why we get to do Find It in Fergus Falls, Eric Engler with Park Region. Eric, glad that you could join us today, and you've got some news to share about digits and dialing.
We do, so that's...
Or dialing, if I remember dialing, but we still call it that, don't we?
We do, we do.
Okay.
So the FCC mandated a 988 as a suicide prevention hotline now, to make it easier for folks to call in and get help. So in turn, they are requiring 10-digit dialing in some area codes. So the 218, the 320, and 605 area codes for our customers, everyone is going to have to dial 10 digits now locally.
Okay.
Not a 1 plus, just the
Just
10
the 10
digits
digits.
when they're calling inside of Fergus, Underwood, everybody in our service area.
Sure.
And that's an FCC thing. It's not just Park Region. All CenturyLink customers are going to have to do this as well. So that means all your pre-programmed speed dial buttons that are 7 digits, you're gonna have to change to 10 digits. I'm really worried about the older population that
Sure.
are in Pioneer House, places like that. We're gonna send letters out to those staff to help them, get them trained in
Right.
and what they need to tell their residents.
Because that is a shift, especially if you've got, like you said, speed dial programmed in, or if you dial a number, you just dial it out of habit too. Because I am guilty of that. I have certain numbers in certain businesses that I call on a pretty regular basis that I can just pick up the phone and dial. And now, when will this take place? When does this go into effect?
Permissive dialing, the starting period is gonna be April 24th.
Okay.
It's
So this year.
This year.
In a couple weeks.
Mandated, it's gonna have to be October 24th is when you have to do it according to the
Okay.
FCC. Now, it affects a lot of the businesses with PBXs, key systems. They're gonna have to get things reprogrammed.
Sure.
On their end as well. And we've started contacting the PSAPs, counties, the bigger businesses in town already with systems that we lease to them.
Sure.
But just be mindful, this is gonna happen this year.
So you could start getting the habit now.
Yes.
So if you pick up your landline phone, you'll need to dial all 10 digits, so including the 218
Correct.
area code. If you're on a cell phone, how will that work?
It won't change at all because you're already doing 10 digit
Because you're already
dialing.
doing that. That's already programmed in.
So it's just like using your cell phone, except when
Sure.
you're calling long distance, you do need to dial a 1.
All right. But if it's not long distance, no one is necessary.
Correct.
Well, just a heads up. See, you're the first to know on Find It in Fergus Falls. You can find out about 10-digit dialing. And if folks need any help, who can they call?
Call 218-998-2000.
Perfect.
Park Region will help you out.
Local customer service, they do a great job at it. Well, thank you, Eric, for joining us on the show and sharing some very vital news for us today.
All right. Thank you.
You bet. We'll be back after a little break.
Sign up for free to become a vet tixer and start creating new happy memories that will last a lifetime. Go to vettix.org to become a member now. VetTix. Give something to those who gave.
Well, welcome back to Find It in Fergus Falls. And of course, we invite everyone to stop down to see Tangles to Treasures right across from the Viking. Can't miss it. And spring is in the air. I hear there are a lot of golf courses that are opening already.
Yes.
April 1st.
I think Fergus is opening this week.
They are opening, and we've already had calls at the chamber office for our golf scramble, which isn't until August, so you've got plenty of time to get in your game. Friday, August 20th, we're going to have a safari party. But before that, United Way of Ottertail and Wadena counties is hosting a golf tournament.
Well, it's so great to be talking about events where people are getting vaccinations, people can be around each other
Right.
again. So excited to hear that your event is going on.
Outdoor events are the way to go.
Yes, and we do have an event coming up on May 21st in Wadena. We're going to do our Shot in the Dark.
Ah, the
golf
glow in the
event.
dark
Yes,
one.
Yes, so it is golfing in the dark, and proceeds from this event will provide support for the Feeding Backpack program in Wadena for the Wadena Deer Creek School. But registration is open. You can visit our website at uwotw.org. It is $75 per person or $300 for a team of 4, but lots of great prizes. We have some really great sponsors, and we hope you'll join the fun.
And so are flashlights allowed?
We definitely want you to have flashlights, but there's a lot of cool hats that have lamps on them
Lights on
too.
them.
So, and we will provide all the safety gear as well for the evening. You'll have glow-in-the-dark markers on each player, and then the fairways lit up, the hazards are lit up, and of course the golf balls glow in the dark.
Fantastic. Sounds like a really fun event.
It is.
Well, we want to thank you, Mary, for joining us and sharing the good news about the disbursements of the funds going to so many different programs. And again, thanks everyone for tuning in to Find It in Fergus Falls. We'll see you again next week.